Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. Welcome to my top 10 comic books of the week. We're doing it live this week because I'm a little short on time, and I really like doing live streams and being right here, like live with you, talking to you. So anyway, we're about to do a live stream here for my top 10 comic books of the week for the week of March 11th, 2020. Of which I do want to say happy 311 Day, y'all. This is 311 Day. 311's one of my favorite bands, so even if you don't like them, just throw on a song. On Spotify, on YouTube, whatever. Just listen to some 311. So, in this video, and when I'm short on time, maybe I'll do more live streams like this in the future. Not for like the weekly comic book review or nothing like that, but like, you know, for like things like the top 10. Like, I think it would be easier for me on time to do the top 10 as a live stream. If you prefer that, let me know. If not, let me know as well. Anyway. So without much further ado, we're about to get into my top 10 comic books of the week for March 11th, 311 Day. And since it's a live stream, it's a little bit more lax, right? We got Bruce, we got Coffee Breath. What's up? All right, we're about to get into my number 10 comic book of the week. My number 10 comic book of the week is Sweetheart, number 1, from Action Lab Comics. This book was really cool. It's got a story by Dylan Gilbertson with art by Francisco Iquineta. I'll show you the first few pages here. This book was a big surprise for me. So it's a horror comic book. And if you like horror comic books, maybe you should definitely check this one out. The art's pretty decent. It's got some great coloring there. It's got an interesting concept. The concept is, at certain times, there are these monsters that exist, and they can mark certain people, right? And when they mark you, they have marked you for life. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, you can move away. You can do all kinds of things. In fact, we have advanced ourselves so much in this world that we now have these tonics that people can drink, and the tonics will keep the monster at bay. Now, this is a literal monster. It looks like almost like a creature from the Black Lagoon type thing, like a gill man, right? What's up, Phil? What's up, Overdressed? Good to see y'all here. So we're talking about my number 10. My number 10 is Sweetheart from Action Lab. Now, I had a lot of people at my shop asking for this. We sold out super, super quick. So it's probably going to be hard to find, but it is right now, as of this moment that we are talking to you live, available to order from Diamond. So let your comic shop know. If they can't get a hold of it, let me know on IG or on Facebook or whatever, whatever you want to do. Send a message. I'll hook you up with a copy. Do you get what I'm saying? Just pay cover price with the discount plus shipping. Hey, what's up, Brett? Live on a Wednesday. I know. I always wanted to do a live Wednesday stream. And then I came up with the idea to do the top 10. And then I did the top 10. It literally takes me way too long to do it. I'll be honest with y'all. It takes way too much time. So some weeks I've been very stressed with the time. So tonight I was like, you know what? Let's just go live. Let's just go live. We love our fans. We love our followers. We love our friends. We love our family. So why not? So thank you all for being here. Number 10, though, was Sweetheart. Sweetheart from Action Lab Comics. It was really cool. If you like horror comic books, I think it's something you should definitely check out. Let me go ahead and grab it again. Just keep it up, right? This book was actually really cool. This is the A cover right here. They did a second cover. Oh, I can't do a Tuesday night live. If I could do a Tuesday night live, maybe this is why I don't do live streams for these shows, because I get easily distracted. No, I don't do live shows on Tuesday night. Tuesday's like... No, I can't do anything on Tuesday. Tuesday is like, get up, do my jam, go to work, come home, read comics, make the video, upload the video. There you go. Eat a little bit of dinner, watch a little bit of TV, spend some time with my loved one, and go to bed. There's no way. If I could do any live stream on Tuesday, I would do a live stream with Chad from 90MF Comics. They do their live streams now on Tuesday night, and I really want to join them. Anyway, Sweet Tooth is my number 10. This book was really cool. If you like horror comic books, if you like something different, the artwork was really cool. It had a lot of great coloring that was kind of very ethereal in nature. but it had a really nice twist towards the end. So the whole point of this book is that this dude gets tagged by a monster. And if you get tagged by a monster, this monster is going to follow you throughout your entire life until it eats your face off, right? Like literally until it eats your face off, okay? But we have like medical technology and potions and tonics and things like that can like hold it off. So it's a really cool comic book that had a really great twist ending. If you like horror comic books with a nice twist at the ending, check it out. I thought it was pretty good. Now we're about to get to number 9. Those Tuesday night vids are as close to live as we're going to get. Brett, I do a live stream almost every Sunday. That's as close to live as you get. But yeah, to be honest, those weekly comic book reviews, they're pretty much live as well. They're like hardcore live, to be honest with you. They really, really are. My number 9 this week. Number 9. And maybe if I decide to do this live from this point forward or whatever, and y'all let me know. Give me feedback, even in the comments down below if you're watching on the replay. Let me know. Do you want to do a live stream every Wednesday night and do the top 10 and all that kind of stuff? Now, Sweetheart Ben is going to continue on into the next bit. It's from Action Lab. I'm assuming it's probably going to be 4 to 5 issues, something like that. You know, Bruce, I did a live stream one time for a Tuesday night for the weekly comic book review. My watch time and my views went down for that week. Now, that could have just been because of the comic books that came up that week. If you're a comic book YouTuber, you kind of really depend on what the trends are going. You know what I'm saying? If Hickman releases a brand new, like, groundbreaking X-Men thing, you're going to have it, right? So there you go. Dirk, that sucks. If your LCS does not have Sweetheart, let me know. If they cannot order it for you, I'm getting more copies in at my shop. Send me a personal message here on YouTube or on Instagram at Pop Culture Philosophers or on Facebook or anything like that, and I can hook you up. Cover price with the discount plus shipping. Yeah, Brett, I get what you're saying. Absolutely. Just off the top of the dome. But the live streams are different because, see, here's the thing. I get distracted. If I would have filmed this video and cut it together, it would be like so much shorter than the live stream would be. I'll be honest with you. But I think it's fun. And like I've always wanted to kind of do a Wednesday night post New Comic Book Day, at the end of New Comic Book Day kind of like stream, right? I have lots of ideas, I have lots of things I want to do. It doesn't mean I have the time to do it. Coming up with a new idea is almost like, my buddy Carl told me this. And this is a quote from someone else, like some like writer or something. But he said, when you buy a new book, you think you also buy the time to read it, right? So when you come up with a new idea, you also think you come up with the idea that you're going to have the time to do it. And we're all in our, I don't know, I know. See, this is why I get distracted. So I did that Best Comic Books of the Month for February with Dylan, Bueller, and Bob, Bullseye Bob, from Everything Comics. And I did this big like thing towards like high schoolers because we were talking about Alienated, and I thought that I was like, you know what? I was like, high school's not as sucky as it seems right now. It's going to get better, blah, 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 blah. Man, when I look at my analytics, like, it's high schoolers are not the ones that are watching our videos here. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. Hit that thumbs up button, everybody, by the way. That's another good thing about these live streams is I can go ahead and let you know, like, hit that thumbs up button. Anyway, we just went over my top 10. Anyway, I got totally distracted. Maybe this is why we shouldn't do this on Wednesday nights. But I've always wanted to do a Wednesday night live stream. But Wednesday nights are completely covered up now by the top 10 video. So if we just did a live stream every Wednesday night where I would reveal my top 10, we could all talk about our favorite comics. That'd be really super fun and cool to me. So y'all let me know. Even if you're watching on the replay, let me know. My number 10 comic book of the week was Sweetheart, number 1, from Action Lab Comics. The first of a new mini-series. It's a great horror comic book with a nice twist ending. I really liked it. time. Goddamn, Brett, you're right. If I could get 4 more hours a day, like one wish, if I could have one wish, 4 more hours a day. My number 9 comic book this week is Marvel's Snapshots, Submariner, number 1. So this is going to be a series of one-shots curated by Kurt Busiek. Kurt Busiek was the writer of Marvels. They are crazy at Marvel right now for Marvels. Last year was the 25th anniversary. Me and Jelani did a Comics Revisited episode about it. I'll throw a link at the end of the video on the replay. So they have been doing all these like Marvels related type things. It's like they're trying to get back in the good graces of Kurt Busiek or Alex Perez. I'm not trying to say that they were in the bad graces, but they're definitely trying to get back in their good graces. You know what I'm saying? This was a really great comic book set in the Marvel Golden Age. This book was super, super cool. It's a Submariner story. This is going to be the first in a series of one-shots. These one-shots are going to spotlight an individual superhero and or super team at a certain point in Marvel history. And they're going to go throughout Marvel history. If you look at the solicitations, it seems like they're almost going in order, but maybe not quite necessarily. They just announced today the Civil War one that has an they all have Alex Ross covers, by the way. The Alex Ross cover right there is fire. Anything with an Alex Ross cover is worth checking out. So they got the Civil War one coming out. That's got a Maria Hill cover, and they got a Captain Marvel one coming out. These are all curated by Kurt Busiek, meaning they're not written necessarily by Kurt Busiek, but he has handpicked these teams. This one is written by Alan Brannert, with artwork by Jerry Ordway. Oh my goodness. The artwork does it for me. If you're an old school, classic Marvel superhero fan, definitely worth checking out. The artwork is so classic, it's so clean, it's so fresh. It's got a lot of density to it, and it really, the narration and the dialogue by Alex or whatever does not stop this book's flow. The energy continues on through. It feels classic, yet it still feels modern and fresh. I love stuff like this. I think it's great. I'm really excited. All these looks into the Marvels things. You know, the Marvels anthology from last week that Alex Ross has been curating? I wasn't that excited about this. But this issue was really, really cool. It's a Submariner story set in the Golden Age that really adds a lot of nuance to the story of Submariner. And if you haven't been reading Marvel Comics for like 30 plus years, like me and some other people here, this is a great one to kind of get you the vibe and feel of the Submariner in his very earliest of comic book origins. This is really cool. It's my number 9 of the week. Marvel's Snapshots, Submariner, number 1. Yeah, we do Wednesday live group in addition to the monthly. So you want to do the live and the monthly. You want to do the weekly and the monthly top books live. I'm cool with that. We'll see what everybody says. And at number 1, 3.5 hours later. No, Brett, I don't plan on going that long. I was planning on this being a 30-minute video. I think we're already going beyond that, so we'll see what happens. The new Marvel series looks good. Bruce, it's good. I liked it. Marvel Snapshots. Marvel's X is cool. If you like Earth X, it's a nice, it's a prequel to Earth X. And Earth X is something I really, really personally like. Jelani really likes it. We're actually going to be covering it in Comics Revisited Season 3. And the Marvels is okay. But Marvel Snapshot's really cool. But yeah, then you're right. They got the Marvels coming out too. So, yeah, whatever. I know, right? My number 8 comic book of the week. X-Men. Number 8. Appropriately enough, Jonathan Hickman has been killing it on the X-Men. Now, I guarantee you already know if you watch the weekly comic book review, we'll be talking about Jonathan Hickman a little bit later in the video. But X-Men by Jonathan Hickman continues to be astonishing. I said this today at work because we were talking about our favorite X-Men books, right? And it's easy to say X-Force. It's easy to say Marauders. Like X-Force and Marauders are exciting and they're super, super fun and cool every time they come out. But we cannot we cannot downplay the boldness and the excessiveness sometimes of these single X-Men issues by Jonathan Hickman. Jonathan Hickman does these one-and-done stories that really set up a lot as far as mystery, as far as giving us a little bit more information about how Krakoa works and how people are getting along. This is a great Brood-centric issue. I loved it. I thought it was great. The artwork was pretty solid. The artwork, of course, is written by Jonathan Hickman, but the artwork is by somebody else. And it's Mahmoud Asrar. I knew that. Let's show some of the artwork there. So the Brood come to Earth because Wolfsbane brought back this like king egg from the Shi'ar. That's something that's left over from the New Mutants run. I really like it. You also got some really interesting character development and revelation about Vulcan and the Summers brothers. It's nice to see this. Hickman said these X-Men books were going to be very Summers oriented, and it really has been. However, each issue has also really kind of set the bar high for what's to come. They each been laying seeds out there. I guarantee you the Golden Girls are coming back. The Brood, all this stuff, it builds up to something. This story is so much fun. Hickman on the X-Men, I've been sold on it since the beginning. I still am. And if you think there are too many X-Men books, just read this one. But I would highly encourage you to read X-Force and Marauders. What's your favorite Dawn of X book right now? Let us know real quick. No, Dirk, they can all come back. Resurrection Protocol, homie. Quit taking hits and maybe you keep it under an hour. Jesus Christ. I don't do that live on camera. Come on. Hell yeah, Brett. Brett loves the X-Men as well. All right, while y'all are chiming in on your favorite X-Men comic book right now, yeah, read X-Men 8 before New Mutants. That would probably help a little bit. At number 7, it's another Marvel comic book. It's Venom number 24 by Donny Cates. This book was fantastic. So this whole Venom Island story, so Donny Cates comes in, he does something with Venom, and at first it feels like it's filled with passion and joy, and he knows what he's doing, right? What's up, Two Gun? Pedro's here. Pew pew, everybody. Hit those finger guns. Thank you for being here, homie. So Venom number 24 is my number 7 pick of the week. And I really think this was a nice turning point for Venom, right? Donny Cates started this run off pretty solid, pretty strong, really getting into this idea of the codependent relationship between Eddie and the symbiote. And then, Absolute Carnage happens. We're building up to Null. And it feels like, we're not there yet. It's not even happening in 2020. It's like 2021, right? It's going to be the big summer event in 2021. That's my new prediction. Depending on whatever Hickman and the X-Men do, right? But Null is coming. And Absolute Carnage felt like a half step towards it, right? And then Venom Island happened. And you're like, oh, it's okay. It's cool. It's interesting. No, in this issue, it gets super interesting. All the developments about Dylan, which of course is Eddie's son. The Dylan Brock, new powers, new identity almost in a way, kind of, if you're a speculator, as far as the short term goes, maybe this is something you want to pick up, but lots of revelation here, lots of greatness. I really like this. I thought it was great. And this kind of renewed my faith in Donny Cates' idea for what Venom's going to be and blossom into. And I'm not saying I ever doubted Donny Cates on this book, but it was kind of lagging a little bit towards the end of Absolute Carnage, and towards this Venom Island arc just seemed okay, but it kind of felt like something in the middle. You have this big stuff going on. This is in the middle. No, this is a big deal too. This is really good stuff. My number 7 comic book of the week, Venom number 24 by Donny Cates and Mark Bagley. By the way, Mark Bagley's artwork in this one is probably the best of the Venom Island run yet from Mark Bagley. It feels solid, sturdy, filled with gravity. There are moments in here that look absolutely fantastic and amazing. And then there's this one shot, I want to show it to you, of Cletus right there. Holy cow. That's some of the best Cletus work outside of the Carnage symbiote that I've ever seen from Mark Bagley. So, yeah, definitely a top 10 worthy comic book. Coffee Breath says, X-Force has been the favorite so far. It's been a good one, but don't underestimate the scale of what's going on in X-Men. Oilers versus Jets. Anyone watch hockey? I don't. I need to. I need to get into it. That's what I'm saying, Barry. I was like, that's why I don't know if I should do these things as a live stream, because I get really distracted. Hey, what's up, Chris? Yeah, that Null is Here splash page is absolutely amazing. All right, my number 6. My number 6 comic book of the week is The Man Who Effed Up Time #2. This book is fantastic. It's written by John Layman, who was the creator of Chew and other great comic books. It's got artwork by Carl Mostert, whatever his name is, Mostert. This is really fun. Great stuff. I love it. The Man Who Effed Up Time is about this dude. He is basically the lowest level you can get as a lab assistant at a physics lab, right? And this physicist has invented a time travel device. He goes back in time. He proves it. He picks up a little plant. He brings it back. He's like, yes, we have proven time travel. So this dude, because of selfish motives like anybody else would, sneaks in, has access to the time machine, goes back in time. He changes some things. He sends flowers to his girlfriend who's going to break up with him and all that kind of stuff. And he comes back to the modern day, and he has completely effed up the time string. The time stream. Absolutely effed it up. Fantastic stuff. I really liked it. I thought it was fun. The second issue takes that hilarious momentum, and it keeps it going. But it also has an essence of heart to it, if that makes sense. This book was really cool. It's really fun. The artwork is cool. It's dynamic. The coloring is bold and vibrant. And I love the story. I love the concept of it. And so in this issue, in the second one, he tries to go back in time to fix what he messed up, and he messes it up even more. And you're like, how can he do it in just one singular week? And it's so much fun, so wild, so kooky. But comic books should be fun. This one is fun. So there you go. The Man Who Effed Up Time, #2, my number 6 of the week. Now we're about to get into the top 5. Like Bruce says, smash that like button. Liam, I am so hyped that Three Jokers is finally actually about to happen, and I've been saying it's about to happen, so yes, I'm super pumped. I told everybody it was going to happen this year no matter what, and I'm very glad that they're proving me right. I really am. We're about to get in my number 5 comic book of the week. At number 5, we've got Thor #4. We just talked about Donny Cates and how awesome he is on Venom. He's even more awesome on Thor. His Thor run is fantastic and it's amazing. And then you add in the artwork by Nick Klein and Matt Wilson. Now, Matt Wilson has not been a stranger to Thor. He's been coloring the pages of Thor for years now. Fantastic work. The artwork by Nick Klein, it's filled with the gravity and the nature that you need for Thor. The colors make it vibrant when it needs to be. This has been fantastic. Now, Donny Cates loves Venom. And you can tell that, right? Donny Cates loves Venom. But you know what? He loves Thor even more. And it's obvious in this story. Look at Loki right there. What? Slight spoilers, I guess, but not quite. Something's going on with Mjolnir. You got Galactus. There's this thing called the Black Winter that's coming, right? And the Black Winter is this big existential threat that Galactus needs Thor's help to stop. So Galactus makes Thor his herald. He infuses him with cosmic power. And there are 5 specific planets that he needs to feed on. And it causes Thor to kind of get into this crisis in and of himself. Not just about his upcoming death and annihilation, but about the idea that he's king now. He doesn't want to be king. He's trying to jump to any adventure that he can find, and now he's teamed up with Galactus. And what does that make Sif think? What does that make Beta Ray Bill think? So you got some conflict here, not just with Thor and himself, but even with Thor and other people and their observations about who Thor is and what he would do, right? Donny Cates is handling this so well. It's such a great book. It's big. It's bombastic. It's in the Marvel manner. It's fantastic. That's my number 5 comic book of the week is Thor. Number 4, if you are not reading Donny Cates' Thor, this is Donny Cates' best Marvel work yet. 4 issues in. It's amazing. And we do have the first official full appearance of the Black Winter. So if you're looking at short-term speculation, maybe something to check out. However, I would encourage you to check this out because along with Daredevil and X-Men and X-Force and Marauders, this is one of Marvel's best ongoing superhero comic books right now, Thor. Read it right now. If you love superhero comic books, you should be reading Thor. If you're not, shame. Shame, 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 shame. Bruce says Venom should be 1 and Thor number 2. Well, that's the beauty of art is that we all have a different subjective opinion, right? So there you go. Thor is exactly why Donny first came to Marvel. Absolutely, Brett. He loves that character. Donny Cates' pace and page turns are awesome. Love his flow from page to page. The Loki Mjolnir thing is a good example. Chris said that, and he's 100% correct. Sharpak, what's up? Hey, Robbie, please review some literary Fantagraphics, Oni Press, Pantheon stuff. That will be a relief from the regular superhero stuff. Well, I cover a lot of non-superhero work. To be honest, I do a lot of advanced reviews for independent comic book publishers. I'm a big fan of indie comics. Expect more and realize that there is more here on the page. So just check that stuff out as well. What's up, Share Love T? How are you doing? We're about to get to my number 4 comic book of the week. I'm excited. I hope you are. My number 4 comic book of the week is The Dollhouse Family number 5. Holy cow, this book blew me away. This was fantastic. So M.R. Carey, Peter Gross, Vince Locke, Chris Peter, they've been doing, in my opinion, the best Hill House comic yet. This is filled with humor at times. It's filled with dread. It's filled with mystery and suspense. It leaves me wanting more every single issue. This book gets great. This is a big explainy issue and is probably one of the best issues of the series yet. This has been the best Hill House comics. It's not written by Joe Hill, but it's curated by Joe Hill. This is amazing. It's right up there with... So you got great horror comic books right now. You got Gideon Falls, you got the plot, you got a lot of good stuff, right? Something is killing the children. Don't sleep on the Dollhouse Family. This is great. I think there's one more issue in this run. The ending of this one blew me away. If you've been following the Dollhouse Family and you get to the end of this, you're like, what the F? Are you serious? This book is amazing. It's my number 4 comic book of the week. Great art. It feels Victorian yet modern and relevant, and it hits all those moments that you need out of a great horror story, which would be truly horrific events, suspense and mystery, and a little bit of humor, and some great characterization as well. And you get all of that and more with Dollhouse Family, number 5. My number 4 comic book of the week. We're about to get to number 3. Share Love T says, I'm with you on Dollhouse, so good. Liam says, wow, I'm actually surprised the Dollhouse is so far up. Then again, Dollhouse and Basketful were some great comics. Yeah, they are. And I just jumped on Gideon Falls. Sometimes I have no idea what the hell is going on. That's okay. Neither do we. But the point is that the journey to learning what's going on is the point, right? And it's great stuff. Coffee Breath says, Dollhouse is good. I even have my wife reading it. Hell yeah. Bruce says, Robbie, I think Wednesday Night Live would work better when our Cowboys play Sunday nights. Well, usually when the Cowboys play on Sunday nights, I'm always watching it. Or I take the week off. Joe Hill is definitely a part of the new Vertigo. My number 3 comic book of the week, Jim Henson's Storyteller, Ghosts, number 1. This one was absolutely fantastic. So, Archaea, which is part of Boom Studios, I believe. Is it not? No, they're still their own thing, aren't they? Yeah, anyway, so Archaea Studios, they mostly do graphic novels now, right? But every so often they do a single issue. And they got the Jim Henson stuff. They do Dark Crystal, they do Labyrinth, and so they do The Storyteller. And they've done a series of one-shot miniseries that have told individual stories about certain fictions, right? So there's a witches one, there's a sirens one, there's lots of great series, and they all are done by completely different creators, and the first issues of each one are usually the best. I'll be honest with you, right? So this one is The Myling. It's by Mark Laszlo. This book was amazing. It's a ghost story. It's filled with tragedy. It's really sad. I said this in the weekly comic book review, but if you like the Mignola style of a ghost story, of a horror story, definitely check this one out. You don't have to read anything before, nothing after. You can just pick up this one. It's really good. So Laszlo did the art and the story. I'm not even kidding y'all. This is super sad. It's about these two twins. One of them dies and becomes a ghost. One of them becomes an old man. He's trying to find the ghost of his brother. It's really good. It's so good. And it will definitely affect emotion within you. The artwork is great. The pacing and composition. Look at those pages. Look at those layouts. You know what I'm saying. If you like the Mignola stuff, you're going to like this. It doesn't just kind of like have an homage to it as far as the panel layout and composition goes, but also because of just the way the story is told. This book is super tragic, super sad, but it's one of the best ghost stories I've ever read in a comic book. So it's my number 3. Share Love, I don't know if the top 10 will always be live. It would be easier for me to do it live, but I know that I kind of get distracted during the live streams and it's not as efficient and quick to watch. So I'm asking everybody to let me know what they would prefer. It doesn't mean I won't do it live sometimes. I am a Twin Peaks fan, Chris, and Gideon Falls does have that Twin Peaks vibe. But it's getting to the point quicker. Do you get what I'm saying? There are really not a lot of good Wednesday night YouTube live shows related to new comic books. Really, Bruce? I find that's difficult for me to believe, but I've never actually researched that. But yeah, I should definitely do that. I'm about to get to my number 2 comic book of the week. So really, the top 10 videos are always just kind of supplemental, right? So maybe we should do it live stream. We'll see what happens. But if you read or if you watched the weekly comic book review, you definitely kind of already know what my top 2 are for sure. My number 2 is Stealth number 1 from Image Comics. I'll be honest with you, okay? So me and my homie Strickland, who works with me, he came in on Tuesday at the shop. He was looking through the new books. This one was there. We were talking about it where I was like, I don't know. I'm not really expecting much out of this book. He's like, yeah, it looks kind of dumb. Whenever Image does a superhero book, we kind of take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? This book blew me away. If you watch Jim Mint's review of this on his, not his new comic book day review, but his pre-new comic book day reviews, because he gets early looks from Image, Jim said exactly what I wanted to say about this book. This one took me by surprise. It's a nice, fun, vibrant, free and loose superhero tale with a lot of humanity and nuance to it. And it has a twist in it that took me completely by surprise. I was not expecting it. It blew me away. I absolutely loved it. Stealth #1. Do not sleep on this book. I called it the sleeper hit of the week. Now, I think I think Image is doing some kind of, I don't know if they're doing some kind of like returnability or something, but it seems like this is kind of heavily ordered, so I don't think this is going to be hard to find. But seriously, check this book out. It's really cool. I think it's been rumored to be already like in development or pre-production for a TV show or a movie or something, and I understand why. This book has a twist to it. It's not just your typical superhero comic book, but it's got a lot of tragedy, human experience. It's got artwork by Nate Bellegarde. Nate Bellegarde was the artist of the first arc of Nowhere Men, which is one of my favorite comic books. It's brutal, by the way. It's got great composition and layout, great colors by Tamara Bonvillain. It's written by Mike Costa. This book was really cool. It's got a lot of things to say, and it says it very well. And it's got a twist at the end that blew me away. I did not see it coming, and usually I see these things coming. This one took me by surprise. Not only the story, but the idea that this book was so much further beyond what I anticipated it to be, which was going to be just kind of a run-the-mill superhero comic book. But it really kind of kicked most superhero comic books on shelves right now, kind of kicked their asses. So Stealth #1 is my #2 pick of the week. Definitely something worth checking out. Share Love says, I'm always down for more live shows. They're fun. Yeah, I think they're fun too. I really do. I love doing these things with y'all, having a chat. Chris says, this book was great, talking about stealth. I saw the twist coming, but it's still great, and the pop reminds me of Joe Biden. If only more people would realize that. Anyway. Oh, yeah. I applaud you for seeing that twist coming. I did not, but definitely y'all need to read it. I'm about to get my #1 comic book of the week. My pick of the week. As Bueller and Bob would say, my pick of the week. Well, my pick of the week is Decorum #1, y'all. Y'all already know that. This is by Jonathan Hickman and Mike Huddleston. Holy cow. This book was amazing. I went on about it in the weekly comic book review, so I'll try to reserve myself here. This book was amazing. It has amazing artwork. It has a brilliant world building. It's got all those infographics, maps, charts, everything you love about the Hickman stuff. It has that and even more. This is the most Hickman comic book out there. I got one of the variant covers there. I just love this cover so much. The artwork is amazing. Mike Huddleston freely flows from style to style, and that happens from page to page. Now, Hickman said in an interview that their intention was that each scene in the story would have its own style of artwork. And I saw some comments today, for instance. I saw some people that said they liked the story, but they didn't really like the black and white artwork. They hope that stops. It's not going to stop. It's part of the story. In fact, if you've read this book, and if you look at the last scene, the only scenes and the only bits of color that you see, by the way, look at that. Tell me that double page spread is not worth the $4.99 alone, because to me it is. Also, again, not only did Hickman create a whole new world / galaxy / universe, as he does, he created another language. Why does this dude do this? Look at that artwork. It feels like old school Hickman. It feels bold. It feels innovative. This book is absolutely fantastic. I love it. It's amazing. I thought it was the most unique and innovative comic book on shelves right now was this one. And I almost said it's Image's strongest debut in the last couple years, but Olympia #1 was a thing, so that's pretty dope. But this book, I'm not even, seriously, this is unfair to other comic book creators because this is just at a level that most comic books do not reach. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm serious about that, y'all. That book blew me away. It's a little unclear. It's basically about an assassin who's like the Emily Pond of assassins. She's super into etiquette and doing the right thing and being filled with decorum, as you will, right? Meanwhile, there's this whole galactic regime that's imagined and built up by Jonathan Hickman. And it has so much. And I'm ready to reread it again. I've read it 2 times. The second time was way better than the first one. So it even more makes my pick of the week. But I think after this stream, I'm going to do it for a 3rd time because the book was amazing. It's my number 1 pick of the week. Decorum, number 1. Chris says, just finished this book about 20 minutes ago. Really interested to see where this is going. Art really was perfect. What else has this artist done? Mike Huddleston, for the most part, hasn't done anything super significant, to be honest with you. Probably the most significant thing that he's actually done has been the Strain series, based on the Guillermo del Toro and Peter Hogan books, which are amazing books. And then there was the FX TV series, which I never saw, but was it good? I love those books. But he did that. His artwork, this is the first time I've ever seen his artwork be this innovative and expressive and just in your face and bold. And I loved it so much. I really feel like this so far has been the most ambitious Hickman project yet. This is only slated to be a 6-issue miniseries. So what are they going to do in 6 issues? I don't know. And I was when this got announced, I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'm always down for a new Jonathan Hickman creator-owned book. But what's up with I don't know, say Dying in the Dead or Black Monday Murders, or what's up with Frontier or Feel Better Now? Is that still a thing? But this is worth it. This is worth it. This is totally worth it. This book blew my fucking mind, y'all. Love it so much. Brett says, Decorum was crazy good. Read it twice. So awesome. The art, an incredible icing on the cake. Bruce says the artwork was cool. What's up, Carl? Carl says, picked up Decorum this afternoon, so looking forward to reading it. Brett, I love his mind. I love Hickman's mind as well. Bruce says, the first half of the story was hard to follow. I need to reread it like 3 times. It's a challenging book. It is. But I think the most challenging comic books sometimes can be the best ones. Share Love T says, I love the art, but I find it a choppy read. I know it's kind of Hickman's style, but the layout kind of ruins the flow for me. Interesting. Try it again. See what happens. Chris says, Hickman will go deep with this universe he's created. It's only slated to be 6 issues. Now, maybe it's just 6 issues of the first part. So maybe there's going to be more coming. We'll see. Hey, what's up, Logan? How you doing? The art is a little bit like Sienkiewicz. Hell yeah. Hickman is going to use the 6 to start his new universe, probably. He's got plenty of universes running around in his head, Brett, I promise you. Brett says, well, then going to wait for the deluxe hardcover edition. Oh, I should, but I'll pick up every single issue. I'll read it as it goes because I get super hype and excited. I love the ideas in this book. I love the composition, the layout, the structure of the story. It just blew me away. It's my number 1. So before we wrap up here, let me go through my top 10 one more time real quick. Because usually the top 10 is like a 15 to 20 minute video, and obviously this one's not. My number 10, Sweetheart number 1 from Action Lab Comics. My number 9, Marvel's Snapshot Submariner number 1. It's a one-shot comic from Marvel Comics. My number 8 is X-Men number 8 by Jonathan Hickman. I love X-Men. This is the one X-Men book you need to be concerned with reading. My number 7, Venom, number 24 by Donny Cates. My number 6, The Man Who Effed Up Time, number 2. My number 5, Thor, number 4 from Marvel Comics and Donny Cates, Nick Klein, and Matt Wilson. My number 4, Dollhouse Family, number 5. This book is amazing. My favorite Hill House comic. My number 3 was Jim Henson's The Storyteller, Ghosts, number 1, a great one-shot comic book. Seriously, so good. My number 2 was Stealth, number 1, my sleeper hit of the week. Do not sleep on this book. It's really good, better than it looks. And my number 1 is Decorum by Jonathan Hickman, Mike Huddleston, and Image Comics and Company. It just doesn't get better than that. That's my top 10, everybody. So the top 10 is done. Y'all want to chat about something real quick before we wrap up? Let's just chat for a minute. See, Chris, I'm right there with you. Only 6 issues, huh? Might just have to add it to the old pull list. I think a mini-series like this, and even if it's a series of mini-series that leads to a big thing, right? I find that easier to commit to. And that's basically what Image does already, right? Let's just be honest. Logan says, yes, do the top 10 every Wednesday night. Well, we'll see. But I'll be honest, if I did an hour and a half live stream every Wednesday night, it would save me less time than actually doing the top 10 video. But we'll see what the metrics tell me. So if you really like me doing it live, share it. Share the hell out of it. Share Love says, hey, I just realized I have that same shirt. Great show. Yeah, it's a fantastic show. I love this book. I mean, I love this show. It's fantastic. Hickman is that friend that totally wants to lead you into the best Dungeons and Dragons adventure he can take you. Well, Brett, I'd like to have a friend like Jonathan Hickman. I'll tell you that. Yeah, Bruce, I am still under an hour, so not bad. Max, what's up? Says 3 out of 10 on my pull list. Not bad. Thanks, Robbie. Yeah, thank you. Where'd you get that Dr. Doom pint glass you had on Instagram? Coffee Breath, I got it at my comic shop. I like drinking beer and coffee. I like pint glasses. So I got a few. I use them on the live streams on Sunday nights. Yeah, so I found the Dr. Doom one and I picked it up. Billy Power Max says, Rockin Robbie Billups, Rockin Robbie Billups, rockin' everywhere, rockin' everywhere. I can dig on that. All right, everybody, that was my top 10 comic books of the week. Sorry for the live stream, but if you like the live stream, if you prefer that, if you want to have a chat here, absolutely, Jobin, beer and coffee for the win. If you want to have the live streams on Wednesday night, or if you prefer the more structured, time-consuming videos that I do for Thursday mornings, let me know. Carl says, came here for the weekly comic book review and found your live show. Awesome. Chris says he digs the live stream. Hell yeah, me too. Sean, what's up, Sean? Yo, I'm watching, but I had to start from the beginning, and yes, I think you should do it every Wednesday live. Okay, well, we'll see if we do more. If it has this week, I'll definitely do more. But like Bruce says, hit that smash that like button. We really do appreciate it. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. Like, share, comment, all that jazz and more. Check us out at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts and a whole lot more. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Y'all keep on reading.